What's going on, guys? My name is Chris, but you can call me Holmes, and welcome back to another tech hands-on brand new cool thing in the video. I realize I've left this in the shot, but you'll already have seen what this is from the thumbnail and the video title anyway. We have a new keyboard to take a look at today, which is very exciting. First and foremost, thank you again to Razer for hooking us up with the keyboard. I have been using this, as of this video coming out, I've been using this keyboard for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and it has been an absolute dream to use. I'm very, very happy with it so far. The keyboard in question, and you've seen the box already in the thumbnail, but the keyboard in question is the Razer Huntsman V2 10 keyless. Now, this is an update to an old model, and I guess technically a rebrand in a way. It's still part of the same product family, but the ending has been changed, even though my camera's flipped. You know what it says. Anyway, this is an updated keyboard to the Razer Huntsman TE, which has been my keyboard of choice for over a year now. It's been my favorite keyboard to use, hands down. And the only complaint that I've had on that keyboard was how loud the keys were. Now, if you're listening out for when the sound test is going to be, go and take a look down in the description if that's what you're here for. I know some of you are here just for that, so go and take a look down in the description. The timestamp for the sound test is there. I will also pin a comment so you can't miss it. But yes, if you want to hear the difference in keyboard sounds, go and check that out. But today we're going to go through and look at everything that comes in the box, talk about the pros of the keyboard and any cons, and just talk about the keyboard as a whole, because I am very, very happy with this keyboard so far. I've had a really, really good time using it. We will start off with talking about what comes in the box, though. There's a lot of obvious stuff in there. Obviously, you get the keyboard out of the box. This is the V2 of the 10 keyless, or now the previously tournament edition Razer Huntsman keyboard. You do also get the exact same braided cable that you got with the Razer Huntsman tournament edition. So you get the same cable in here as well, which is a USB-C to USB-A, a USB-C on the keyboard, and then USB-A to your computer. But there is a new addition to the keyboard in terms of what's packaged, and you do now get a wrist rest, which is really, really nice. Very, very cool to see. This is exactly the same as the one that Razer are now selling individually in the 60%, 10 keyless, and full-size wrist rests. So if you're planning on buying a wrist rest as well as getting the keyboard, obviously don't. It comes with one in the box, so that is really, really nice to see. Also, as an update, I know some people were looking at or waiting to hear from me about an update on any kind of like wear or tear on this. I've been using this ever since I posted the video about the pack that's behind me, the customization kit. I've been using this pretty heavily. It's been underneath my wrist the whole time with my watch on it as well, and not a single sign of wear and tear. Looks the same as I took it out of the box, so little update for you there to say that this is still standing up to the test so far. I also will note, while you're looking at shots during the video of B-roll of my keyboard, this keyboard, mine, I currently have the Phantom keycaps on it. They do not come standard with this keyboard. This comes with the standard double shot PCB keycaps, so you get the standard black ones on here. So yeah, if you're looking at mine and seeing the Phantom keycaps, that doesn't come with them. You have to buy that separately. But that is everything in the box that comes with the keyboard. We are going to go ahead now and talk about the new features with the keyboard, some of the updates, some of the big changes to the keyboard, and reasons why you might be looking at this keyboard in particular. The biggest and most obvious one, which we'll talk about straight away, is the updated switches. Now, these are still the Razer optical linear switches, but these are the V2 version of them. These are the updated set. So the biggest difference between these and the old set, they are obviously much, much quieter, and they do feel smoother to press compared to the old set. Now, you'll hear the sound test later in the video. Again, timestamp down the bottom. But they are very, very quiet and very, very smooth to use, and I have definitely noticed a difference between this and the old keyboard as well. I'm sure with my old keyboard, I have used that considerably, and the switches have probably shown some signs of wear or like this frequent usage over time, since that was the main keyboard I had for over a year. But even so, those switches retail like brand new are still considerably louder than what you get with the V2 switches. Another very, very cool addition to this keyboard that has not been done in a Razer keyboard before, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody from Razer or anybody who's bought other keyboards from Razer, but this now comes with sound dampening foam inside the keyboard. So there is added sound suppression, or an added feature to the keyboard to make it even quieter to type on. I will definitely say, since using this, I have hardly had any times where I've really noticed typing through my headphones and while I've been gaming. And again, with my old keyboard, with the Huntsman Tournament Edition, it was very noticeable. People could hear me typing in calls. I could hear myself typing. Other people in other rooms could hear me typing. It is a very noticeable difference in sound. And the sound dampening foam plus the new switches just changes the game entirely. couple of other features that do come with the keyboard that aren't physical features necessarily, but things that come built into Synapse, which is a cool little addition. There is a switch option or key switch optimization setting inside of Synapse. Now, between the two, if you choose gaming or typing, typing adds a debounce delay to prevent extra inputs from a single keystroke, whereas gaming mode has 0 debounce, making it hyper responsive after the key is actuated. I'm reading this right from Synapse now, so that is what the settings describe. This does also come with a feature that I had previously only seen in the Razer Viper Ultimate 8K, which is the option to increase the polling rate. So this, compared to the TE again, this will now go up to an 8000 Hertz polling rate. So even with the new switches having a faster actuation and also being able to increase that polling rate up to 8K, if you want the fastest and most responsive keyboard you can get, that is the best way to go, increasing that polling rate. It does give you a warning inside of Synapse saying that if you crank the polling rate up to 8000, you may notice some performance issues or some performance impact from it. Aside from that, everything else in Synapse is exactly the same. You still have your gaming mode settings. You still got options to like customize your keys to a certain extent and your lighting, as well as your default lighting profiles or your RGB that you can change around. But without tiptoeing around it anymore, we're going to go ahead and listen to the sound test, because I know some of you are probably watching this video and anticipating being able to listen to this compared to the other keyboards. So we're going to go ahead and do some typing on the Razer Huntsman TE, the V1 of this keyboard, and then following that you'll listen to the V2 and hear the difference between them. So yeah, listening to the two keyboards back to back, you can definitely hear the difference between the first gen and the second gen of this keyboard. The sound dampening foam, as well as the updated keycaps, make a huge difference with the amount of sound that has been given out. I also don't think these keycaps are lubed, but just the updated optical linear switches just feel so much more smooth to press compared to the old keys as well. And I'm just such a big fan of the change they've made and the fact they've finally upgraded this keyboard, and I'm very, very happy to be using this as part of my setup now. With all that being said, we've pretty much covered everything on this keyboard that there is to talk about. In terms of other features or design changes, there's nothing else that is different. This literally is physically, at first glance, it looks exactly the same as the old model keyboard. You still have the 6 to 9 degree stands that are underneath the keyboard, so you can raise or lower the keyboard depending on what's more comfortable. You still have the detachable USB-C cable for the back, so you can use the old cable from your previous keyboard or switch to the coiled cable that Razer sells, or your aviator cable, whichever you've gone out and purchased. Everything else is exactly the same visually, but the updated switches and the sound dampening foam are the big changes that make this such a different keyboard to use compared to the old model. And I really think if you're looking at a new keyboard and you don't want to take up as much real estate with a full-size keyboard, but you also don't want to lose those keys going to a mini or a 60 to 65% keyboard, this is the way to go. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Please, down in the comments, let me know if you have any questions that I haven't answered in today's video. I will also be streaming using this keyboard, so if you tune into a stream while I'm live, feel free to throw any questions in the live chat. Otherwise, like I said, comments down below is the best place to do it, and I will answer as soon as I can. Hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed the sound test. Keyboard ASMR is always nice. Thank you again to Razer for hooking us up with the keyboard. I'm very, very happy to be using this, and I will see you in the next tech hands-on unboxing that we do in the future. Feel free to subscribe, helps me out a ton, and lets me know if you want to see more of this content as well in the future. Take care, have a good weekend or good week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.